First Lady Melania Trump's former close friend and advisor is taking you inside what she says she witnessed behind closed doors at the White House in her new book, Melania and Me. Her name is Stephanie Winston Wolkoff, and she's joining us right now. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you so much all for having me. Hi, Whoopi. Thank you.
Excellent. So you guys were friends for 15 years. You thought you guys were tight, but it appears that you were not as tight as you may have thought you were. What took you so long to realize it was not reciprocal the way you hoped it would be?
You know, I feel that the friendship that I share with Melania was one that really took place between Melania and me, right? There were no other people involved. I wasn't spending time with Donald. I mean, she and I were spending a couple hours together, you know, at our lunches or in our homes. We weren't on outings as girlfriends usually do. So when I look back on it, I realized that we did have a very close connection, but maybe, you know, it really did grow more intensely as, you know, the year 2015 was coming to an end.
Ms. Wolkoff, you recently revealed that you secretly recorded your conversations with Melania. I've said on multiple occasions, I said to Mary Trump, I don't like tell-all books like this. I think they're in really bad taste in general, and I think secretly recording your friend and selling its contents for profit certainly ups the ante and seems not only unethical, but just gross. The First Lady's office says you're, quote, just out for revenge, given all the damaging details you've chosen to share. Can you honestly just sit here and tell me that's not true? And just on a personal level, if someone did this to my mother, and she has an aide that she's incredibly close with who would never do anything like this and has been with her for over 20 years, it would break my family. Do you understand the implications of this that it could have on them just as people?
Absolutely. And first of all, thank you for asking that question, because it's one of the biggest misconceptions out there right now. Just so you know, I did not write this book for money. I did not take any advance for this. This was for me to be able to tell the true story and not be anonymous anymore. I'm on the record. All the stories that crushed me, burned me, and the White House propaganda machine made up about me that made headlines around the world broke me, my integrity, my life literally went into shatters because of exactly what you're talking about. I didn't press record on a friend. I pressed record after I was accused of a crime and I was thrown under the bus, and I was told by my friend, I'm sorry, this is the way it has to be. So that's when I pressed record. Otherwise, I agree with you completely. And I would never record a friend. But what happened to me is, again, and the White House putting out their own messaging, and again, they're going, it's almost cultish, Megyn, and it's wrong. And they will say things over and over and over. The fact is, I do have the facts. I do have the proof. And I am willing to actually stand by every single word. And with this family, that is so important, because one of the biggest reasons why I wrote this book was not only to get my sense of clarity back and my own sense of self back, but for the country to understand who these people are, and that these are the people behind closed doors running our country. And they are not doing it in your best interest, right? Like, for me, you know, it's not what you can, you know, do, what your country can do for you, which is all about what the Trumps are about. It's what can you do for your country. And that is the main reason why I went and helped my friend, because no one else would. So there's a lot here to talk about, but there's also a lot here to understand that people don't know yet about them. And I felt it was my obligation, not only as someone who experienced it firsthand, but someone who knows the depth of their corruption, the depth of their deceit, the depth of their just disregard for everyone, and especially even, I mean, look what he's doing. I mean, and I apologize respectfully for what things he said about your father and about war heroes. And I mean, there are no words to explain this. And so had I kept my mouth shut, that would have been the hardest thing for me to do for the rest of my life.
Just really quick, we do have a legal ABC note. We heard from Melania Trump's office last night, and her chief of staff, Stephanie Grisham, said that your, quote, intent to secretly tape the First Lady and break your NDA in order to publish a dishonest book is a sad attempt to advance your own name. Simply put, it is an exercise in narcissism and self-pity.
So thank you for bringing that up as well. The Department of Justice reached out to me, as well as Trump's personal lawyers, as well as the White House, in July, trying for me to stop this book. I did not break the NDA. I've been working with First Amendment lawyers the entire time. pre-publishing lawyers. So this was handled extremely carefully. It was done properly. And again, this wasn't supposed to turn into what it's turned into, which is extra levels. But if they're going to come after me again and after my integrity and my character, I am going to stand up for myself. So no, I did not break the NDA.
All right. Okay, Stephanie.
Yes.
Sticking your neck out in for this administration in these particular times is not easy to do. So good for you. Here's my question. Melania calls Ivanka princess, and according to your book, and I understand that Ivanka calls Melania the portrait, which is funny. To me, that's very funny. I mean, it means that she's just sort of a painting that doesn't speak, I guess. That's according to Ivanka. But anyway, you describe Ivanka as a leaker and an opportunist who basically tried to sabotage Melania. But you say Melania is no angel either. She even blocked Ivanka from the cameras at Trump's swearing-in ceremony with your help. So why is there no love lost between these two? Is it because, do you think, it's so clear that Ivanka is Donald's favorite, and maybe Melania doesn't like it, that he prefers his daughter to her?
Well, I just want to clarify. I mean, during the inauguration, thank you, Joy, is that, again, it was petty. I do say that in the book. It wasn't as if Melania would have even thought to block Ivanka, honestly. And I'm saying that with all due respect. It was the fact that Ivanka put herself out to be first and foremost in front of everyone and everything that took place during the inaugural. So it wasn't her place to want to, be the first event, stand next to her father. There is no love lost, but I think that, when I first arrived at the White House, Ivanka already had strategized with her, innermost circle. She had leverage already. She had the people in place that needed to set her up. They had already, assigned job posts, salaries, titles, and, Melania was left with nothing. So there is a big discrepancy. And I think that it all starts back when you can even look at the way that Ivanka's, branding. They're the geniuses of branding. So Ivanka slaps Ivanka Trump on everything that she makes. It's a success. Melania tries to do something. She slaps an M on it for Melania. It doesn't do so well. So yes, obviously Donald is going to put his last name on his daughter, which he's done.
I do have a legal note. We also just received a comment from a White House spokeswoman for Ivanka. They say these are absurd, petty, and desperate accusations from a clearly very insecure and paranoid person. But you don't have to respond to that. It's just their statement.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, let's